everyone, it is Kate here for another video, and I just wanted to tell you about a publisher that has recently been brought to my attention, and they were so lovely and sent me several books, and I will show you those. And this is Honno Publishing. They are a Welsh publishing house, and they publish women's literature by Welsh women. And I just think it's a really great cause. You know, I think maybe a lot of times Katie from Books and Things has talked about when we think of Victorian literature, we just think of British. I think sometimes we can overlook some authors that we would otherwise really enjoy. And so just from doing lots of Victober researching and things, I found out about different Welsh Victorian authors that I do want to try. And so the first author that I have something by here is Alan Raine. And this is one I had in my Friday reads. It's called A Welsh Witch, A Romance of Rough Places. I love the subtitle for that. So this is about a woman named Katrin who lives in a really small town on the coast. It's a shore town. And she's kind of the town scapegoat. So now the town have just decided she's a witch, and they just labeled her a witch. She's very misunderstood, and it's basically about her friendship, and then eventually I think it turns into a romance with one of the young men in the town. So far I am 63 pages in and absolutely loving it. I can't wait to tell you guys what I think at the end, but I'm already very impressed by Alan Raine's writing. This really is on the very cusp of the Victorian era. I'm counting it as Victorian. It's 1902, but Alan Raine does have several, works that came out during the Victorian era, and then a couple that came out during the Edwardian era. But I'd say this feels definitely very Victorian. I'm like pretty sure it's set, during the Victorian era, so I'm just counting it for that. And then another one, the author is L.M. Spooner, Louisa Matilda Spooner. And so this came out, let's see, 1868? No. Let me see. 1858, that's what it is. And this is Gladys of Harlech. This is a historical fiction, so I know that this is one that I will be very slowly savoring and taking my time with. I have a complicated relationship with historical fiction. The more like YA historical fiction is what I've had success with, but it's just, I haven't found any that's very like beautifully written. And adult historical fiction is just very long. So I thought, you know what, if there's any historical fiction that I could love, I feel like it would be Victorian historical fiction. And it takes place during the War of the Roses in the 15th century. And she lives in Harlech Castle, and I think there's just going to be lots of political turmoil and intrigue, and I think we'll really get to know Gladys as a character. So like I said, this is one that I'll be savoring slowly. This is a little over 500 pages, so I still definitely look forward to it. But I didn't want to rush it during Victober because I wanted to give it the time that was due it. So yeah, I'll be starting this in November, and I can't wait to get to it. And then they sent me 2 more books by an author that I was very interested in named Hilda Vaughan. Now Hilda Vaughan is not Victorian, but her first novel, Here Are Lovers, is set during the Victorian era, and it has a very like Victorian sounding plot. It says, when the beautiful and bookish squire's daughter, Letitia Wingfield, meets impoverished would-be scholar, Gronwy Griffith, it seems as if both their romantic dreams could come true. But in the turbulence of 1866 and the Second Reform Bill, the gulf between rich and poor is all but impassable. And Gronwy, as the son of a Welsh farmer, a tenant of Letitia's anglicized father, any relationship between the two seems doomed. And so it says, in this ironic analysis of the dangers of romanticism, which is what the Victorians were all about, Hilda Vaughan captures the tedium of life for a Victorian young lady and explores the tensions between class, gender, and nationality in this divided Welsh and English society. So it just sounds so interesting, and like I said, I want to read more Welsh literature, and this was published in 1926. So yes, want to get to this. And then another one by Hilda Vaughan that just sounded so intriguing and romantic is Iron and Gold. This is a retelling of an old Welsh folktale where there is a farmer who finds a bride in the water, and he brings her to his farm to be his wife. So it just sounded too intriguing, you know, to not want to read. And this is very short, so it's it's a little over 200 pages. So I think it would be fun because I do really like folk tales, but I'm never willing to commit like lots of time to reading retellings of them. So this one is only around 200 pages and should be easy. So thank you so much, Honno Publishers, for sending me those. And I, of course, will link them down below. But I did want to tell you about one other author that they have published that I am interested in, and that is Amy Dilwynn. And she has 2 books I'm interested in, and the first is the Rebecca Rioters, which Katie from Books and Things, that was on her TBR for this month, and she finished it and really liked it and said she thought I would like it, and she thought the setting and sort of some of the plot points reminded her of Lorna Doone. And I thought, well, I love Lorna Doone, so I am totally open. And then one that I just, as soon as I realized then another title from her that I kind of just didn't notice, you know, when I was looking on their website the first time, but noticed another time, is called The Burglary. And this is, they say it's a comedy of manners. And so I think it's just a burglary happens in this small town and just all of the repercussions of that and kind of just quirky things that are going to happen. So that, Amy Dilwynn is a Victorian author. So really excited to find another Welsh Victorian author. So let me know if you end up checking out anything from Honno Publishers and if you have read any of theirs already and enjoyed it. And I will see you guys for another video soon. Bye.